All right, everybody. We were just listening to the first half of Israel Jones' most recent project. That was just Get Free. Right now, we're about to get into another interview with Israel Jones. Israel, how you feeling today, man?
I'm feeling great, man. I'm feeling great. We rapping today. I'm black.
Yeah.
We in New York. What's there to doubt?
A lot of great things, bro.
Yeah.
A lot of things to be feeling great about.
Yes.
Let's just jump right into this.
100.
I know this is a crazy first question, but what's your top 3 hip hop artists today? They can be underground, can be mainstream, can be legends. Let's get a top 3.
Top three. Silk Money. Silk Money is one of the illest. His penmanship, his world building, what he's talking about, how poetic, how abstract it is, how conscious it is. He's one of the greatest authors of our time. So Silk Money. I'm really, really, really like 454.
Yes, sir.
Because he's like the same, but it's just a different sound. And I think sometimes those pockets of hip hop, the penmanship gets discredited because of the sound. But like, listen, the pen is still moving. And then, I mean, it's cliche, but like, I gotta say Dot. Like how can I not say Dot?
We got some beats picked out for you later. We got a little Dot in there. You know what I'm saying?
I gotta say Dot. But I would throw Smino in there too. We just talking about Smino off
Classic.
air. I would throw Smee in there. He's been a big influence. Zay, I know there's more than 3.
Definitely.
But, those are probably 5. That's really.
These is good names.
Yeah.
5 inspirational artists for sure.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're talking about inspirations. I'm curious. You're from Florida. That's correct.
Yes, sir.
And so, how has that influence coming out of there? Like, how's the local music scene? How do you feel like the folks out of there or the style has been influenced by being from Florida?
I mean, the style is a huge influence. Like
Absolutely.
what you see, what I see influences what I write. So you grow up seeing pink houses, you grow up seeing beautiful skies, suns, alligators. You grow up seeing, you know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
You grow up seeing it all. You're in a really melting pot of a lot of different cultures. And it makes for really dope music. The heat brought out some of my best raps, being locked in like a shed in the summer in the Florida 90-degree heat. Like, it's either you rap or you go home, So that brought out a lot out of me. The scene, it's a lot of undiscovered gems in the Florida scene. And maybe the sound hasn't got all the way on, because the Florida sound's a little different. But there's a lot of people who are really, 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 really talented in Florida and just need a camera on them. Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned you live in Jersey now. So what was the move out here like? Why'd you decide to move out?
For what I just said, pretty much like I just needed new eyes, pretty much, and just doing the same thing I was doing in front of different people. You know what I mean? I feel like I had reached all I could do where I was at, which is beautiful. I love where I was at, but you get to a point where you got to grow, you got to expand, you got to do something, you got to do different things. You got to enter a new season, and this was the place. This is where I knew I would have things like this, opportunities like this, to see different things, hear different things, grow as a person and as an artist. And I feel like Jersey was the best place to do it.
Branching off from, new opportunities, growing out of like the Florida landscape, coming to New York. We know that you went to FAMU and you recently went back to teach about hip hop and the educational values within hip hop. So I guess our question is, what do you feel like hip hop can teach America, teach students, teach people growing up?
Everything, man. I think first we must understand that hip hop is literature, and these rappers are authors. So, if a rapper has 15 songs on his album, how many verses did he have to write? How many rhymes did he write? How much alliteration, literary devices, personification, storytelling, similes, metaphors? These are some of the greatest authors of our time. And imagine somebody did 15-song album, he did that 7 times. How many songs is that? How many songs didn't he use? So I think we first must understand that as listeners and the audience of rap, especially in this country. We must understand that the people who are wielding these pens are Shakespeare's, are Emily Dickinson's, and we can learn about them in class. If you could sit there and learn about, Mark Twain, you can learn about them as well. It's the same type of literary food. And I think what we could learn as a people in America is the commentary that you find all throughout hip hop. We give credit to Rapper's Delight, being one of the first hip hop songs, but we also got to speak about the message. Grandmaster Flash, one of the first songs, somebody
Definitely.
put a microphone, like, what's going on in my area? Broken glass everywhere. What are we talking about? And that shed a light on the community that he was in. So it's a power to put a spotlight on the impoverished And that's what we need in today's time for sure.
Bro, you're dropping a lot of bars. Before we continue, I do want to let the listeners know that you're listening to WKCR New York, WKCR HD 89.9 FM, or WKCR.org.
Yes. Tap in.
You can also tune in on Apple Music for this live interview we got with Israel Jones. Israel, you were talking about rappers as authors.
Mm-hmm.
In a previous interview, you had talked about how, at first your music didn't have much substance, but that when you found it, you became addicted to it. I want to know, do you still feel that way today? And as a rapper that prioritizes substance, how do you feel about the current musical landscape where aesthetics and sound are almost more valued than the lyrics that are being said?
I'm gonna answer that one first. I think that has always happened in hip hop. There was Vanilla Ice and there was Tupac. They can go and sit at the same time, and you need both. Hip hop is a tool. They are playing hip hop in countries that don't know how to. They don't speak English. You know what I mean? I'm seeing people wear grills and use black culture in countries that exist far away from us. So we need both. We need the Rakims, but we need the Lil Johns too. We need both. It helps push the culture forward, more eyes on the culture, because you never know what somebody's entry point to hip hop is. If somebody's entry point to hip hop, let's say, is DJ Khaled, and through that he finds Lil Wayne, and through that he finds Gutta Gutta, and through that he finds BG. Now he done found the truth. You feel me? So you never know how far it could go. So you need both. That's A. B. Addicted. I'm just me. So when it comes to substance, I cannot talk. Rap is about me. I'm seeing what I'm rapping what I'm seeing. They intertwine. So it has to be that. I don't know how to write something that doesn't have any substance, because I'm talking about my life and I live a real life. So I don't look inside and see something hollow. I look inside and see like everything. So that's what the music has to reflect that.
That's really interesting, and how you speak about writing. I guess like to new artists, to new rappers, like what's some advice that you'd give them on their pen on how to, continue to do what you're doing, or in their own way?
Study. You got to study the greats. You got to study the penmanship. You got to study the literature. You got to go back and dig in the crates and take it from the genesis. Take it from the genesis and work your way through and see how it has progressed. See the difference between a LL Cool J, a Kumo D, a Big Daddy Kane, then an Ice Cube, then a Rakim, then a Nas, then a Tribe, a Farside. Then you get a Ka. Then you get that. Then you get an Earl. You find where the roots at, the genesis of it, build up, and then you get to where you at today, and you'll be able to see the magic in hip hop. So study, and then do. You must rap as much as you can. And I see a lot about people saying like, you write every day, record every day, just rap every day. Whether that be performing your old raps, rapping somebody else's raps. Just sharpen the tool of rapping, and if you combine those two, you should be all right.
We're getting a lot of wisdom tonight, y'all. Shit, thank you, Israel. It's really a pleasure.
Thank
Man,
you.
in terms of like your life journey, I guess, your trajectory, you at one point were a signed artist, and then you chose to like go independent and start Brick Road Records. Excuse me. Tell us a little bit about that journey and how Brick Road Records came to be.
Oh man, destiny. My man back here, Gianni.
Shout out Gianni,
my brother. We went to college together and we met, and that was like my dog for a long time. And around 2023, we just kind of like completely locked in, got on the same page. And ever since then, man, just been trusting what the universe put in front of me. Led us to Derek, led us to Trent. Just kind of how we met them was just, something out of a fairy tale for real. But when you know that, trust it. Like, okay, God has put these people in my life for a reason. And ever since then, we've just built brotherhood, kinship, friendship, artistry, and combine that into a gumbo, and you got Brick Road Records. So
that's cool.
Yeah,
I almost want to go back a second to what you were talking about studying. I mean, you yourself are a real student of the game. It's clear from the way you're responding to these questions.
Yeah.
So I just want to touch base. Like, do you have a memory of your like first hip hop experience, or like a formative experience for you in hip hop?
Yeah. I remember when I was little, my dad, he was like he just got saved. Or he was listening to a lot of rap. He was listening to a lot of jazz. And I would sneak and listen to rap, on the playground. T-Pain was hot, Lil Wayne was hot. So I was sneaking. I would know the rap. And I can just remember coming into the car, singing some of the songs. Like, he is a savant. Like, y'all think he was there for the birth of hip-hop. So he's a savant. He put me on Kendrick. He put me on Isaiah Rashad.
Wow.
He's a savant.
Wow.
So I think him hearing me come in the car and sing them songs, he was like, nah, my son got to hear the truth. And so I was probably around 4th grade. He showed me Black Star.
Wow.
And I'd be on the playground listening to Thieves in the Night on my MP3 at like 9 years old.
I'm sure the teachers were probably like, yo, what?
Yeah.
What's in the water?
For sure. But they kind of like isolated me because I'm like, dang, y'all don't know what this is? Y'all don't know about Mos Def? But it also grew my love for hip-hop in an unbelievable way. So I would say that for sure. And just like that whole experience, he put me on Grandmaster Flash, Nas, and I was young, so he would like sense out some of the songs. But he was like, he's my sensei, He put me on.
Wow.
Yeah.
And, moving into some more music and collaborations that you've had, you were featured on the album for I'll Never Die's, their album Genesis, with a bunch of folks that have been on, NFU, a lot of NFU family. Shout out Jay Cinema. Shout out all of them.
Yes.
And so tell us about, the relationship with those artists and the project and, yeah.
Oh, man. Any place where people is rapping, I'm going to feel welcomed. So they are they collective, they real spitters over there. And, you can see, it's like, you can see what somebody else, is God, is ordained. And there's a lot of people over there like that. And me and Jude got a really good working relationship. He sent me stuff. I've been on a couple of his joints. And he sent me that Never Perfect. And, it was, perfect for me to get on, and it fit wonderfully. So that's definitely a camp that I respect. They do great work. And anytime I could be a part of great work is phenomenal.
Absolutely. No, yeah, it's dope to have them on the show. Definitely real spitters. Excited to have you spit pretty soon. But, I mean, we heard a bit of the album before entitled Go With God, your latest release from 2025.
Yeah.
I'm curious, even before we even get into the whole point of the album, maybe this is the point of the album, how does spirituality play a role in your music? You have this title, Go With God. What does that mean to you?
What it means to me is like sometimes you got to get up out of your way, let God do the rest. Get up out of the way and go with Him, follow your intuition, follow your spirit and what it's telling you to do. And that project is really about that, it's really about me leaving the past behind, but it's also a synonym of leaving like myself behind, but also a metaphor for like leaving Florida behind. I have to leave this baggage, this luggage, all these things that don't serve me no more behind to go where God wants me to go. And that sounds easy in concept, but it's hard in practice. And that's go with God, the battle with myself of like, I know what I'm supposed to do. Why am I not doing it? And like being frustrated with myself, and realizing that at a certain point, you got to let that go. You can't spend all day being mad at you.
Yeah, I mean, actually, that's something I wanted to get into. The song we listened to just before we started the interview is called Get Free.
Yeah.
You're from Florida. I see like a heavy UGK influence on that song.
Sure. Yeah, for sure.
And I was wondering, like, you have this line where you finish out. You say, I love the South. I know you love the South.
Yeah.
But
I'm tired of the motherfucking South.
I'm tired of the motherfucking South. Why are you tired of the South, Israel?
I mean, that's like two parts. So the South really was like an embodiment of the past. So I'm tired of doing the same old shit, pretty much. I know I love it. It feels good, to do the same things that I've always done. But I'm getting free of that. I'm tired, I'm so tired of being tired. We know the euphemism. So that's part A of it. But also B, I spent my whole life in the South. Yeah. Spent my whole life looking at Confederate flags. Spent my whole life looking at, I know that. My people in poverty. And after a while, you just get tired of looking at the same shit over and over and over again, feeling like you can't change it. So both of them, I'm tired of where I'm at and tired of where I'm at, both.
And getting more into the album, like, where do you feel like you pushed yourself the most on this album?
Like song-wise?
Song-wise, maybe even just thematically, whatever you want.
I want to say Get Free, because the process for that song was very long. My dog G looped it up initially, and I just lived with the loop for a long time. And I couldn't figure out exactly how I wanted to attack it, but I just lived with it. That's a part of the writing process too. Just letting the beat play, figuring out what pocket I want to get into, and then one day I just sped it up, And I was like, oh, okay, that unlocked something new. And then I was able to actually like put words to what I was doing, but it still was missing something. I couldn't like, okay, I didn't want it to be a loop, so I sent it to my dog, who did it, Rolf, and he put the drums on it. And then once he put the drums and the 808s and all that on it, it unlocked something new. And then even with that, I still had to sit with it for probably about another week before I could like actually write to it. And then it was one day, it was hot outside. I wrote most of this album like back at the crib, my feet in the grass, the dirt at my family's crib. And it was one of those days, and I just felt called, like, yeah, it's time. And it came like that. So it was a long process, probably like a 5-month process of working on the song, you know, intentionally, passively. But it forced me to believe in the song, believe in it, and it ended up coming out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, you could definitely hear the project. On the project as well, you collaborated with a few artists. We got Kyrique, Lil Black, Sage, Ciamara, and Boma.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about these collaborations. Are most of them Florida-based? How'd you come to meet them?
Yeah, most of them is Florida-based. Is what I'm saying. Like, Florida, you know, just need a spotlight on people. You know, Boma, that's Brick Road. You know, one of the best rappers in the world. He's pushed my pen so many times. He's all throughout the album doing the radio skits. That's him. You know, Ciamara, I've known her. She went to FAMU. Great singer, great vocalist, great songwriter. You know, Kyrique, that's like one of my mentors. He was the first person to really put the mic in my hand when I got to FAMU. When I got there, I was still deciding if I was going to play football or not. You know, I was kind of like in between. And I met him, and he let me rap for free at his crib. And that kind of got me off of football very quickly.
So now I made for this. Like,
yeah, like, hold on. It got me off football very quickly. Lil Black, he's also the truth. You know, he's a young artist trying to find his way. And I definitely wanted to put him on the project because he is an insane pen, and he has a incredible unreleased discography. That music will come out one day, I promise. And when it come out, it'll shake some things. So I wanted to get people on the project that I believed in as well. You know, so everybody on that project believes in me, and I believe in them.
I mean, your story with football just sounds similar to JID.
I love what's the last song on the Forever Story?
2007.
Oh
That's
man, that's my life. 2007 is my life.
Like, when you said that, I was like, this sounds like some 2007
quit
shit.
Yeah,
football
that's what it
because
is.
knew the rap was the shit. Hey.
No, that's what it is. That football to rapper pipeline is serious. Something in the water about that.
I wanted to ask, like, you know, you talked about Get Free being a song that took you about 5 months to make.
Mm-hmm.
You talked about also collaborating with some of these other artists.
Yeah.
How is your process different approaching a collaboration? Like, is that something that, you know, you got to get in a different mindset, or is it? Do you think they push you more? Like, how are you approaching the songs when you know you're doing them with another person?
Like, I'm a feature for somebody, or they're on my song.
Well, is the process different for that too?
Absolutely, we got to hear both. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, for sure.
interesting.
A feature, I'm trying to think about how to complement the song.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so if this person's on there really rapping, I'm gonna be trying to meet the really rapper energy. If they're doing some melodic, I'm gonna try to, you know, just like a balance. You know what I mean? I don't want to come on there and just totally disrupt the flow of their song. You know, I might even add some ad libs on their part, a little trinkets on the chorus, a little something, just to make the song more of a song. You know, for me, if I want somebody on my song, I kind of don't like explaining my vision, so I kind of send it to people that I kind of trust that can get it. And, you know, would do the same thing that I would do on somebody else's song. So the process is kind of the same. I just don't go into like links. You know, I just like, okay, I think this person would be great for it. I don't got to explain too much. I'll send it to them and they know what to do. You know, so it's not a lot of people that end up being on my music for that reason, but it's always the right people.
You're pushing people.
Yeah, I think so.
I love that.
I think so.
And moving into, like, you know, your overall career, you know, you've been dropping albums consistently every single year since 2021, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It's very insane as an artist. And so I guess, how do you feel about your refinement over the years? How is your, you know, what does that musical journey look like? How have you improved? What have you learned about yourself as an artist?
That musical journey, I've come to realize and love that it's mine. You know, because I've dropped the project every year since 2016. You know, 2021 is just what the people know. You know, but I got mixtapes on SoundCloud. I got an album that came out in 2020 that I had to take off. So I've been dropping music every year, you know, for 10 years now.
Wow.
You know, at least one. You know, some years is multiple. I think in 2024 was 4. Wow. You know, so my musical journey is mine, and I love that because only I will ever know truly what I'm feeling And if I'm making music from that standpoint and not what somebody else wants to hear, what somebody else thinks, then I won't have nothing to really worry about, you know. So I appreciate the flowers on that, you know, on dropping the project every year, but I'm also just doing what I was put here to do. You know what I mean? I'm just showing up to my job, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, so we did hear through the grapevine that you have a certain favorite track that you made with an NFU alum, Frogo, called Niger Boy.
Yeah.
So first, tell us, is that the favorite track? And second, if it's not, which is?
From my NFU people who've been on here that I've worked with?
No, I mean, generally, favorite track you've made.
We've had a bunch of people on here, so.
Yeah. Definitely from what I could think of, Frogo is the truth. You know, he's
a great artist.
He's a great artist, and he threw me that oop. That's another situation where he sent it to me, and I kind of just knew what to do. You know, he was talking about his origin, he was talking about his roots, talking about his familiar history, and I was like, okay, let me do that for me. You know, so that was another situation of just being the peanut butter to the jelly, and, you know, lack for better words. You know what I mean? But yeah, for the people I could think of, that's for sure. That's one of them ones.
Shout out
Frogo. Shout out Frogo.
That is so cool, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, I love seeing NFU alumni connecting on something.
What's up, man? We got to get a cipher or something going on.
Yo.
Come on.
Coming soon.
Yeah, coming
soon.
Coming soon. It's in the works.
You're going to be the first one we tell about when that
It's in the works. We'll tell you about after you get on air.
My bad. I don't want to expose no plans on my bad.
You got some good stuff coming.
I mean, earlier you talked about, you know, trying to rap every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And you just talked about how you put out a project every year for 10 years.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, maybe you could give some advice to us and to the listeners about how do you deal with creative blocks? Like, what happens when, you know, the raps aren't flowing?
Bro.
Put the raps down. Put the raps down, bro. You got to go see something. You got to go hear something. You got to go taste something. You got to go love something. You got to go try something new. Go do something else. You got to live life. If you live in a real life, you know, the creative block probably won't come. You know, I haven't had a creative block in a minute because I'm just present what I'm doing in life, just letting life teach me. And I'm living a life, and my life influenced the rap. So as long as I'm alive, I'm going to have something to rap about. So just put it down for a second, breathe, go to the park, put your phone down, bro. Put your phone down, breathe in, breathe out, drink some water. Go for a walk, bro. Text your mom, bro. Go live your life, and then come back. It's not going nowhere. I know that's a fear a lot of creators feel, you know, that I've experienced. Like, oh man, if I didn't write a verse today, I can't rap no more. That's insane. Why are you telling yourself that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So just put it down. Go live your life. Come back. It's gonna be there, and you're probably gonna be better when you come back. You know, for that reason. Yeah.
You know, to all the young artists out there, you got some bars, gems right now. Lock in on that. So I guess,
Seriously.
what would you tell yourself 5 years ago? Even shit. What would you tell younger you, even before knowing what you know now?
That's a good question, and I ask people that question all the time. I would tell them you have nothing to fear. Do everything fearless, because you're not gonna get hurt. Nothing's gonna happen. Even if somebody doesn't like it, you still gonna rap the next day. So just do it from a sense of knowing who you are. There's nothing to be feared. There's no need for imposter syndrome. No need for anxiety. No need to worry. No need to compare yourself to the next man. No need to be on an app all day comparing yourself to people who you don't know, might not even like you. It's irrelevant, bro. Just put your head down and do you. You know, I would tell that to myself last week, 5 years ago, and I would tell that to anybody who's doing anything. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
That's great advice, man.
Yeah.
And you know, just before we close out, we always like to do this with whoever's on here. We're gonna do a quick rapid fire round.
Come on, let's do it.
So try to answer them as quick as you can.
Come on, I'm locked in.
Which would you prefer? A Grammy
for
Rap Album of the Year or a certified hood classic album?
Oh. The Grammy is more lights on you. The certified hood classic means a little bit more though to the people. So I'll go to certified hood classic. They might give a Grammy to anything, but if you certified, you certified.
Shit.
You feel me? So I'll take that.
If the music didn't work out, what's plan B?
There's no plan B.
Tough.
Beautiful answer. Beautiful answer. I love that answer.
No, you
No
thought about
plan
it for a
B.
second too.
Yeah, I
like
didn't want
that.
to. That's because I didn't want to give the cliche answer, but I mean, just, the music is working out. The
Bro.
The music is working out just because I'm deciding to do the music. Because I decided to rap. You know,
Shit.
so
Album every year since 2021. You got a favorite punchline you've written?
Now that is a good question. Favorite punchline. Nah, I don't think so. That's too many. It's too many rhymes. It's too many rhymes to go back. It's too many rhymes to go back. If you gave me like some time, I would go through and look it, but I can't. I can't get it right now.
There was plenty that we heard, but shit.
Just to close out, what's your message to the world, man?
I know we living in very scary, very daunting, very eerie times right now, and you might feel the need or the want to enact change, and I'm with you on that. But for that change to be substantial and to last, it has to start in the center. You got to change and get rid or shed yourself of the old you, the versions of you that don't work no more, the things that you still holding on to, the hot coal that you got in your hand that you got just because it burns. Let it go. You can't make no real change in the world if you're not making no change in yourself. So start the revolution within yourself and then put it into the world. You need that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
I mean,
the revolution is brought to you by radio.
facts. This has been Notes from Underground Radio interview with Israel Jones. Israel, where can people find your music?
Man, Israel Jones, all streaming platforms. Israel Jones, 2 eyes on Instagram. Get with me. I got some stuff you need to hear, I think.